Welcome to Commanders Daily, everybody. It's your one-stop shop for everything going on with the Burgundy and Gold. I'm Bob Matthews. Hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of our coverage. You can see I got the Caps jersey on as we are recording this during the second intermission. Hopefully, tomorrow morning we'll be talking about the Caps coming back from a 1-0 deficit and winning their first game of the year. By the way, Dan Quinn today telling Spencer Carberry and the team good luck with the opening day game. All right, we are officially starting Bears week. Commanders back on the practice field in Ashburn on Wednesday. The two big notes that came out of there was that Noah Brown was at practice, Terry McLaurin was not. So the two wide receivers that missed last week's game, we're 50-50 on that right now. Great sign that Noah Brown was at practice. You know, he obviously he is the number 2 guy, but you need that big, fast possession guy to go over the middle. Either one of these guys take a little bit of pressure off of Deebo Samuel. But, and it's a big but, not having Terry out there today is not concerning as we record this on Wednesday night. But if you're watching this on Thursday, here's what we want to see. Is Terry back out Thursday? Wow, that's just an incredibly intelligent statement, Bob, isn't it? Okay, the reason that Thursday is big is they've got the extra day off before the game because it's Monday night. So was Wednesday just a simple precaution for Terry, or is he going to be out again another week? And if he does miss a fourth game, why not have just put him on an injured reserve? You could have gotten him, the 4 weeks that way. But either way, there you go. Terry not there. Noah Brown is. Dan Quinn also talked about Sam Cosmi, who is progressing. I think he's got at least one more week after this before they got to make a decision on him. So, but Quinn has said that he is still progressing in his, and you know that term he loves to use, return to play. Still working on that. I thought it was interesting what he said, Dan Quinn said about, are they going to talk about last year's game, the Hail Mary and all that? And Quinn said no. Said it was last year's story. It was an awesome story. They loved it, but it doesn't apply to this week's game. So, you got to put it in the past. I think it's a pretty good strategy, Squads are different from last year. Yeah, a lot of the same players, but a lot of new guys as well, and it's a new year. We always say it. It's a week-to-week league. It's a year-to-year league as well. So, glad that they're not they're not going to look at it and, say, let it complicate things this week. Let's just put it that way. So, again, the injury updates. Again, Terry McLaurin out on Wednesday. Hopefully is back on Thursday, like we said. Hopefully it's just a case of an extra day's rest to start getting ready. The team will go out and practice tomorrow sometime early afternoon, probably about 1 o'clock. We'll hear from Quinn before practice, and he will let us know before practice if McLaurin is going to be out there or not. So keep an eye on that one. Again, if we see Noah Brown out there again tomorrow, that also is a sign that he is progressing and he will be ready to come back as well. And the same thing with Cosmi. You just want to see them. You want to see him keep progressing and keep practicing a little more. So here's what Quinn said about Cosmi on Wednesday at his press conference. Said did a lot of reps last week. They practiced him 2 days because they then left. He stayed back. He'll get a full week of practice. He'll work both with the scout team and the offense. So again, getting back into the groove of things. Quinn also said, we're not putting any other space out there other than just go play, get your technique right, and allow his eyes to trust that he's putting himself in a good spot with all the work he's done. But I'm just going into the week with fresh eyes like we did the walkthrough yesterday, got reps there, and there's pretty much stream of consciousness after that. But he does say that he's doing well. Again, you get Sam Cosmi back in there, and the line, which has already been playing at a fairly high level this year, gets that much better. And, it looks like, when Cosme does come back, you could very well see a line of, Tunsil, Cosme, Biotish, and then maybe Chris Paul, who has looked fantastic the last few weeks, and Josh Connerly at right tackle. So we shall see what we shall see, but good to hear that Sam Cosme is progressing. Dorance Armstrong. Quinn talked about Armstrong today, too. He has gotten off to a fantastic start this year. About him, Quinn said, I think he's got the versatility to be able to work more this year, inside, outside, different spots. The addition of Vaughn Miller, Jacob Martin, where we can feature him, and Luvu, how we do it. So I think it's just allowed his ability to match up on guards, be out on both sides. And the versatility, he says, is one of the reasons why Armstrong is gotten off to the start that he has. I also think that it's been very, very key that they've gotten great interior line play. Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, Johnny Newton, those guys in the middle have been doing a fantastic job, and because of that, I think Armstrong has benefited from that as well. And again, hey, just keep it up, because if you've got that threat there on the outside, it just makes it that much harder for teams to pick on the secondary, which played a lot better last week than it has in weeks past. All right, let's go ahead and hit the mailbag here, which, of course, we absolutely love to hear from you. Our question of the day, and drop it in the comments section below, but what are your keys to a win over the Bears on Monday night? Let's see. At Duncan Bass 840, so shout out to Duncan. He joined a discussion that was started by William Denmark, who said, too bad Terry wasn't in practice all summer when he could have gotten into playing shape. Maybe he wouldn't have gotten injured. Money wins out again. And Duncan saying, respect your opinion on this one, on the Adam Peters contract. They agreed to not a big contract. Could have been signed before spring training. I still don't know, and I get where you guys are going with this, but I'm just not sure that it is, that you can draw a direct line from the holdout to this injury. If it was a hamstring, absolutely. A quad, it looked like there was some sort of, he landed kind of awkwardly on that 57-yard throw. And that's where the injury occurred. Of course, since they're not telling us exactly what it is it a pull, is it a tear, what it is, we can't really make any informed judgment on it. Shout out to H.K. Hawkins, who said Kinlaw just jumps off the screen multiple times a game, even when he's not making the tackle. He is an absolute beast. Totally agree with you. Talked about Javon Kinlaw in a story we've got up at sportsjourney.com. Yeah, and I neglected to mention him a minute ago. But again, when you're talking about that interior line play and why Dorance Armstrong has done so well on the outside and gotten off to such a quick start, again, because Javon Kinlaw is also part of that rotation in there. And, and he is, you're right, he's been worth every penny so far this year. I've been really, really impressed by him. Let's see. BH-ZJ4YT, shout out to B. Trey Amos finally tackling horrendous the first 3 games, but he has really turned it around. I've been impressed with Amos all throughout this year. I think he's been okay. Again, I graded a little bit on a curve. He is a rookie, but you're right. He is starting to come around. And again, the thing I love about Trey Amos is we haven't really talked about him giving up a huge gainer out there on the outside. So I think he was a fantastic draft pick for him. Hopefully he just keeps getting better. All right, that's going to do it for us. Don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a day of it. Drop a comment below. Let us know what your key is for beating the Bears on Monday night. See you tomorrow. Remember, like the wise man once said, if you're on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.